Learning about chucks? Yeah, that's what we do here. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Scotty Karate video. Today we're going to be doing a review. Now what we're going to be going over today is a pair of nunchucks I've had for quite a while. So we're going to go over its benefits, its pluses, what I think it can improve upon, all that on today's segment of the pair of nunchucks we're going to be reviewing today are my white waxwood chucks that I've had for quite a while. Now, these are octagon shaped and are corded and not chain and ball bearing. So with that, we're going to get into a few things that I like about them and don't like. Start off with some facts about it. It's octagon shaped, and honestly, just a personal preference, I'm not a fan of octagon. I prefer on my daily use chucks to be rounded. I just find them more comfortable in my hand. I feel like with the octagon it's kind of rough, and when you're doing, your chucks for an hour or two a day, it starts to wear on your grip, hurt your hand, at least for me anyway. So I prefer the rounded. I don't really see a problem with those. But octagon is great for actual practical use. So if you're actually going to be using them in the dojo, if you're actually planning on striking someone with the pair of nunchucks, octagon is the way to go. The edges help cause more damage and more pain. Now, some believe that the edges actually cause breaking of bones versus the rounded. I don't know. I personally haven't done that. Maybe in a future video we'll do some experiments. But what I can tell you, getting hit with a pair of nunchucks, round or not, hurts. Okay, so if you've ever hit yourself on accident, you're doing something whack, and you're like, oh! Trust me, it hurts. So because of that, you have to understand what you're doing. So nunchucks in general are dangerous. These, pretty dang dangerous. The wood is more durable than most. So I've had a few, I like to call them balsa wood. I'm not sure what they are. They're probably just pine or something. And as soon as you hit something, if they're painted, the paint instantly chips. I mean, that's a given. That's an obvious thing. But I've had some of them I'll block a bow, like you do, and just that, and it'll crack it. To the point where one of them actually cracked almost in two. Like it actually splintered very badly. Ended the nunchucks instantly. So, the hardwood's a good thing to go with. That's what these are. They have a good weight as well. I do find them a little light. And a lot of that's just personal preference. I've used a lot of heavier nunchucks in my life. So, when I actually do my forms, particularly, I'm actually using my good form. I like heavier chucks. I think they flow better. I think they swing heavier. I feel like I'm getting more power from it. So they're a little on the light side. I'm not a super fan of that, but they're not amazingly light. You won't pick these up and go, oh my gosh, these are nothing. I barely feel I have anything in these. They're not a pair of foam nunchucks. They are heavy. They're just not quite as heavy as I'd like. If you can see, I'll try and get this on the camera as best I can. You'll have some imperfections in the dents, and some of these where I've actually done quite a bit of damage to them while practicing. I've used this a lot, and there is damage. I'm not going to say that they're bulletproof here, but they do hold up. I have had a little crack up here. Hopefully y'all can see that. I don't know if the camera's going to catch it. But anyway, right here in the little split here, there is a crack in the wood. So, it's not bad, and I could easily just take some sandpaper and maybe X-Acto cut that out, and it'd be fine. It's not going to mess with the integrity of the nunchucks. But they do crack. They will fail on you at some point. But from the abuse I've put them through to still having them today in usable condition, that's amazing, actually. So, the good pair of nunchucks. I would recommend white waxwood weapons in general. You can get them as scream sticks, you can get a bow staff, nunchucks, obviously. I have had success with them. I do have a pair of scream sticks that are white waxwood, and I beat the crap out of them all the time, and they're still kicking and going strong. So I do believe in the durability of the wood. It is a good wood. The really only downside to these chucks that I have found is truly the fact that they are white. That's a personal preference. I like darker nunchucks. I just think they look better. So keep that in mind. You aren't going to get a pair of white waxwood that's black or blue or red. So that is that. Another downside is they aren't great tournament chucks. And so if you're going to tournaments and you're actually wanting to stand out, you're wanting to do your flash, you're wanting to do your nunchuck kata, stand out from the crowd, a pair of white chucks ain't going to do it. They're just not. You'll notice when you go to these tournaments, you'll have a lot of people that are rocking multicolored, rainbow spiraled with metallic paint. And you do all that on purpose because it catches light. It makes it look better than it is. It's kind of like buying a ring from a jewelry store. They use intense light on those rings to make it sparkle, to make it look better than it actually is. That's kind of the same thing here. So if you're wanting to do tournaments, probably not the nunchucks for you. For a sure fact, one, they're wood. In most tournaments, they don't use wood. But two, it's just not flashy enough, in my experience. So that's the downsides. Like I said, I don't really like the weight. They're a little bit light, but not so light that they'd be good for like flash demonstrations. But they're heavy enough to do what you need to do. Their durability is very, very high. So, like I said, I've done some damage just over the years of using them, but they are a go-to. So, when I'm using my chucks, I always look for a few things. Mainly, durability. Because if you're new to nunchucks, I'm going to give you a good hint. Bonus tip, you will drop these. A lot. A lot. Anybody that tells you they've gotten good at nunchucks and never dropped a pair of nunchucks is a bald-faced liar. Don't believe it. You will drop them. So, depending on what surface you're practicing on, if you have a pair of crummy or cheap or balsa wood, or they will break. As soon as they hit the ground, thud. You'll pick them up, you'll see dings, dents, cracks, maybe even ruined entirely. So having a good pair that can withstand some damage, some usage, is good. I recommend them. They're a good chuck. If you've been looking for a pair of nunchucks, you just want a good beater set, as I like to call them, ones you can take out to like a heavy bag and strike it and actually not worry about the chucks breaking in your hand, I recommend these. These are good ones. These are what I use them for mainly at all times now. If I decide to go out and hit the heavy bag and work on my form so I can roll through to prevent backlash, these are the ones I'll go to for a sheer fact that, for one, they're heavy enough, they can do the technique. Two, I know when I hit the heavy bag, I'm not going to have them snap. I mean, they're durable enough for that. Also, I use them at class for my strikes. So if I have to hit something hard, like a bow or a sai to block, I can hit. Wrap around the wrist, whatever. I mean, all the stuff you do with nunchucks. I like the fact that they do survive. So, I highly recommend them. And, yeah, pretty good chucks. I've had them a while, going on, say, 10 years? But that's not straight use. Like I said, I use other nunchucks more. These are my go-to beaters. Ones I throw in my bag for when I go to the dojo. If we're going to use actual techniques to strike with, boom. If I'm just doing actual nunchuck techniques, I'll bust out another pair that I like better. I feel is weighted better for me. Well, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to go over that. Simple review. Just wanted to go over a few things that I do like and don't like about these particular nunchucks. Hopefully I have more reviews for you in the future over different weapons. But as I have them, I will review them. If you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when my videos are posted. And, as always, the more you train, easier to fight.